Hi, it's Ra, Rishi Kavi Raghudas from Star Presence Astrology, here to give the astrological forecast for Friday, July 4th, 2025. Well, of course, it is the birth date of the USA today, and wouldn't you know it, today is one of the most complicated and complex astrological days of the entire year. I call this a triple chameleon day. A chameleon day, in my terminology, is a day when more than one planet changes signs. So, of course, it kind of shapeshifts in terms of energy. Well, today there are no less than two planets that change signs and a planet that changes direction, and a very intense conjunction to go with it all, so let me explain. The sun today is at 13 degrees of ultra-sensitive, often moody, but generally speaking, nurturing water sign Cancer. And the moon today is changing signs, moving from the late degrees of air sign Libra very early in the day into the deep dark water sign of Scorpio. You'd expect no less given what's going on today, right? The moon moves into Scorpio at 2:33 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 5:33 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and 10:33 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time. Then Venus, the planet of love and affection, makes it in its intense conjunction to Uranus, the chaos planet, which is sitting in the very last degree of Taurus. So this occurs at 29 degrees, 51 or 52 minutes of Taurus, almost into Gemini, but not quite, but just about there. And Venus conjunct Uranus is anything can happen in terms of money or your love life, or more generally, your values. 5:45 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 8:45 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, 1:45 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. Anything can happen today in your personal life, that's for sure. Then in the morning, well, afternoon, and if you're in Europe or parts east, the moon makes awkward angles to both Saturn, which is about responsibilities, maybe going awry, and Neptune, which is the planet of dreams and visions, which is about to make its planetary station, 2 degrees of Aries. So it's not great in terms of things going as we would wish. And then Venus does move into the air sign of Gemini. That's another planetary change right there. And so the energy changes into much more mental kind of energy, much more social. We want to make love with our words, maybe, but that might be a good thing. 8:31 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time is when that occurs. 11:31 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, 4:31 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. And 15 minutes later, the moon makes an awkward square, 90-degree angle to Pluto, the Lord of Power. Not great for your personal life. So again, lots of intensity there. From 3 degrees of Scorpio to Pluto at 3 degrees of Aquarius. So intensity is all around today. And if that weren't enough, the moon makes a lovely trine then to Jupiter, planet of good fortune and expansion, later on in the afternoon, which kind of gives us a breath from 5 degrees of Scorpio to Jupiter, 5 degrees of Cancer, 2:06 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 5:06 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, 10:06 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, and then guess what happens? Neptune, the planet of dreams and visions, creativity and spirituality in the higher end of things, but also illusion, delusion, and confusion on the lower end of things, changes direction at 2 degrees of Aries, turning retrograde today. Neptune retrograde is like Fog City. It's like you're on a cruise ship. This is why I got my Moody Blues cruise shirt on here today. The cruise ship engine's cut off, and you're drifting, and you start to go backwards. That's the kind of energy it is today. That occurs at 2:34 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 5:34 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, 10:34 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. So if you get confused today, guess what? Don't blame yourself. It's just the energy. Nobody knows what's going on today. Of course, we can infer the USA going backwards and drifting out of great delusion and confusion as well symbolically, but sometimes these things do work on that level. In the evening, the moon makes a hard square, 90-degree angle to Mercury, which is not great for communications. It's a hell of a day. So my advice today to you is just easy does it. Keep your own energy straight, breathe, stay centered today. I'm Ra, Rishi Kavi Raghudas from Star Presence Astrology. Now, if you would like to have a personal reading with me, you can book it on my website, starpresence.net. Remember, from the very moment that you're born, you've got star presence. Enjoy this day, no matter what. Lots of fireworks today, literally or figuratively.